Last year, at the same end, so nearly the hero. This year, you made it count. And we saw the celebrations at the end. Does that just mean everything?
Yeah, it means everything. I mean, listen, they've had the better of us over the last few years. We know that, and it's not been good enough for our club, and we've not given our fans nowhere near enough days like today. So it's been a long time coming to this ground and picking up 3 points. But it means. I think it's the old cliche, if it's only 3 points, but it's definitely not. It means a lot more than that to the boys, to the clubs, to the fans. I've been here 7 years now, and to come to this ground every time and not get 3 points has been tough. So yeah, it's for the fans, and I hope they have a great night tonight, because of course it is only 3 points on the table, but to come here and do it over Liverpool, and like I said, they have been a top team over the years, and they've been a lot better in recent years, so it's nice to get one over them.
Funny enough, I just heard on the commentary that for a Manchester United player, Anfield is the best place to win. Now that you've experienced it, can you vouch for that?
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. I think you see all week about the build-up, and you see a lot of Juan Mata's goals and Wayne's goals here, what have won the games for the club. So yeah, I'm sure in a few years' time they'll be looking back at my header and things. So it's listen, football's all about memories. It's all about creating memories, creating special memories, and I'm sure all the fans in the stadium will have a memory that they won't forget. So we'll all go home happy. We'll not get carried away, because we know this club is not in a position to get carried away. We need to use this as motivation to reach levels that they've reached in recent years, because that's where this club should be at.
What do you think?
That crowd, but a huge win for this group of players. Listen, we've all been critical of them over the last year or two, including myself. But on today's performance and a bit of grit, they've stuck at it. And we felt they'd goals in them today to score 2 goals away. They did as well last year. Maguire obviously nearly scored the win in the last minute. So big moments for these players, and why not? They've got to enjoy it. And again, the stat with back-to-back wins now, fantastic. But of course, they've got to kick on. That's the key for this group of players.
Jamie, does it feel like a pivotal win for Manchester United? Does it feel like a win that can turn things around for them?
Kelly, time will tell. But what it does feel like a huge win for the manager. You mentioned the players are always right, but for the manager, he got every call right today. I question whether Harry Maguire was the right man to play. He was a character. He showed his leadership skills. You know, he went with Cunha instead of Sesko. That was fantastic as well. That decision. Cunha was world class today. He's mentioned before the game about Harry being great for set pieces. He ends up scoring the winner from, obviously it comes out from a corner. And I just thought tactically he got it right today. They never played out from the back once. We see it so often. Teams go to Anfield, they play out from the back, lose the ball. There was not once from a goalkeeper's restart did they play out from the back and invite that press from Liverpool. They got everything right today, and they will feel good. And he has been battered, Ruben Amorim, by everybody. So he can enjoy today. Is it a breakthrough moment? Only time will tell. But it's a huge win. Anytime you come to Anfield and get a win like they have, they'll be delighted.
So Jim Ratcliffe said in the build-up to this game that Ruben Amorim needs 3 years to prove whether or not he's a good manager, and obviously they'll want to see improvement within that time. When Mikel Arteta was under pressure at the start of his Arsenal career, and this is what Ratcliffe mentioned specifically, it took a while for him to get going. It was the 35th game. It was against Chelsea. It was a big win for Arsenal. It seemed to settle the nerves and mark the turning point for Arsenal. This is Ruben Amorim's 35th game in charge of Manchester United. Can it be a similar turning point?
Let's hope this is a big turning point for them, of course. And we don't have to get bogged down after the game by tactics and systems. Those are players with personalities and showing quality. Run about some of their attacking players. The weight of the jersey, they look like they're embracing playing for Man United, so they look a goal threat, without a doubt. Now, they rode their luck at the back, but you have to do that when you come to Liverpool. Liverpool is as poor as kind of Liverpool were. They had some great chances, but we all need a bit of luck in this game. So instead of analysing everything too much about tactics and system after the game, we say, listen, well done Man United. Big win, great for the supporters, all at Anfield. Fantastic. And they're all little milestones for the manager now to build on. They can regroup, go back to the training ground, and when you go back into training the next day or two, you'll go back into a better place because you've had a big win. The supporters are enjoying it, and why not? But they've got to use this now. It's a springboard. Make sure they kick on.
Jamie, we'll talk more about Liverpool a little bit later on, but a quick word on them and their performance. Overall performance, but also, as Roy said, balanced out by chances created.
They had so many chances, Kelly. Gakpo could have had 3 or 4 today at the post 3 times, I think. It could have gone either way, but it just had that feeling today. Even when he made his substitutions, there was always an air of desperation. There was never any calmness in the game. It felt like whoever, even when they equalised, the way that they handled it after that, you know, Soboslai throws the ball back to the goalkeeper. It's chaotic. They end up losing the goal from that. I never felt they had that calmness. The substitutions he made, obviously, we'll talk more about in a minute, but it's a blow. 4 losses on the spin. I don't think anybody would have foreseen that happening. And all the players that have come in, when we looked at them on paper, it looked like, wow, what great signings. But right now, there's more questions than answers.
Yeah, great moment for him. United's latest winner at Anfield since John O'Shea in 2007. Let's have a look at it then. What a moment for him. What a rush of adrenaline for Harry Maguire. As you said, Michael, he's scored a few really significant goals this year.
Yeah, he's got a knack of it in the box, Harry. You know, he finds that back post really well, and when he gets in there, he's calm with his finish. You know, and he's done it so often. And he pulls off the back. I think it's Konate. He's in that back slot, and there's almost 3 of them really there, ready to head it in. And he's had some massive moments. I've said it. I think that's probably the biggest one for me for what it means. The timing of it. It's a fantastic header, guided into the bottom corner. You can see by his reaction how much it means. You know, he cares an awful lot. I've known him. I've worked with him. He's so desperate to do well. That'll mean the world to him. That.
I was going to say, you've seen him day in, day out very closely. Does he deserve that in a way with the attitude he has around the place? I'm not making it personally, but I'm so pleased for him because he's done some really good things for the football club, and he's been through the mill at times as well, and he's had some unfair times, but he's come back unbelievably well and turned into a leader and a real talisman in big moments last season as well at times with big goals. And it takes a lot, you know. It takes a lot that when you're up against it and show real character and mentality. There's no hiding place at a club like United, and I'm just so pleased for him personally for that and for the club to see that go in and see what it means to him. It's fantastic. Yeah, to say it's been a roller coaster for Harry Maguire is probably something of an understatement.
Well, yeah, exactly that. I mean, any player at Manchester United for the last decade, it's been tough times, but anybody that's survived those 10 years or whatever, then full credit to him. And Harry Maguire is one of those. I mean, he's, you know, his career has been one of such a high, you know, to do so well and then to get a move like he did to Manchester. But then, since then, it's been mainly of pain, of not making excuses, but always having to come out and front it. I mean, he's the captain at the end of the day. He's always the face. He's always had a broad pair of shoulders. He's always scored important goals, actually. But in the main, it's been disappointment for him. And, you know, he is one of the good guys. He is one of the nice guys. He leads by example, and you can't, you know, take that away from him. So it's a nice moment for him. And obviously a nice moment for Manchester United. It was a good goal. I mean, it was a great ball in from Bruno Fernandes. It was a little bit loopy in terms of the cross, so from a defensive point of view, you're getting plenty of time to readjust and try to head that one out, but they were outnumbered 3-1 at the back, Liverpool. And when it drops to him, Manchester United wouldn't want it on anybody's head other than his, because I know he plays centre-half, but he doesn't miss with his head much.
No. And the irony was, when we heard from Ruben Amorim before the game, and he was asked why he'd picked Harry Maguire and not Yoro today, he gave us 2 or 3 reasons, and the last one was his heading ability.
Absolutely spot on. We talked about both boxers, you know, as much, and he defended particularly well, Harry, today, as United did in general, really, and limited sort of Liverpool to many chances in and around the box, few shots from outside. But that's what he is. That's what he's a threat, you know, and it's not a one-off. And the manager was right in the end and kept him on this time. You know, he's changed the back line at times. He kept point, brought Luke off and brought Yoro on and left Harry on and got the benefit.
The other thing is, I think games like this suit him more than any other types of games, because when you're almost defending a little bit deeper, he's not having to worry about people running in behind him, a bit of pace in behind. He can defend the edge of his box. There's not many players that are better than Harry Maguire at doing that, heading anything that comes into your box with aggression. He's decent on the ball, so if the ball does end up at his feet, he's more than capable. And then, of course, set pieces at the other end or attempts like that. So I think today, you know, when the chips are down, it's the type of game that he probably revels in, more so than playing a lesser team, playing a high line, you know, and the team that are going to counter-attack that could really expose him. I think that's a tailor-made game for Harry Maguire.
Quite literally, there is nothing better in life for a Manchester United fan than to go to Anfield and take away all 3 points. And as John Champion said, it hasn't happened for since 2016 for 9 years. Robbie Mustoe, is that the best day for Ruben Amorim?
I think it has to be. I think the scenes at the end show the relief, the celebration from the players, for all the reasons that John Champion talked about, the back-to-back victories, the not winning there in 10 years, etc., etc. Ruben Amorim, what a day for him. You know, myself included, we questioned some of those calls. We said there were big calls to make. Substitutes were big calls as well. And Harry Maguire, you know, I worried about him being a little bit ragged with Isak. They defended well, Maguire defended well. And we did say that what he does bring to the team is that aerial power and the ability to score from set pieces. It was a marvellous ball in. We're going to look at it in the highlights from Bruno. But, you know, a deserved victory, a hard-earned victory. And Man United, Rebecca, and we've been a part of this, have had a lot of stick over the last few years, really, and a lot of criticism and a lot of scrutiny. And today, they enjoy a game and celebration against their biggest rivals.
They deserved it all, didn't they, today?
They did. Biggest statement, best performance, best result. Away at the champions who normally don't get beat here. We knew it was a Liverpool team that had come off the back of 3 defeats, so we thought that they'd come again. United dealt with it. I thought they defended magnificently. There was a threat in the attack and some big calls by the manager. He leaves Šeško on the bench and puts Cunha in, and Mbeumo scores after 62 seconds. Harry Maguire is brought into the team instead of Euro. He gets the winner, so he's not going to need the 3 years that Sir Jim's given him if he continues on this form. As you said, they're 2 points behind Liverpool now, and things are starting to look up.
What are Liverpool's biggest problems?
The same as they were going into this game, Rebecca, defending. They conceded 2 more goals. Another goal conceded from set pieces. That's 5 now in the 8 Premier League games so far. The other problem, as we've talked about, is a stodgy kind of build-up play and their attacking threat that isn't really there. Alexander Isak, not really a threat today. Mohamed Salah, not really a threat today. Oh, to be fair to him, is it his normal level? He missed the chance there, and our conversation could be very different if Gakpo takes that header right at the end. But he gets his goal, he hits the woodwork, he's lively, he's doing his job. The others in that front line are not. But biggest issue is defensively, they can't get clean sheets.
The man of the moment.
Like a really absorbing first half. Look at that, 13 shots already, 7 of them on target, and the all-important goal from Manchester United, which means that United are in front at Anfield against Liverpool at half-time since the days of Michael Carrick 10.5 years ago. And they did go on and win the game that day. That brought a big smile to your face. So too did that goal after just 62 seconds. What a start.
Oh, it's absolute dreamland. Absolute dream. To go to Anfield, I spoke about right before kick-off about a stable start and work your way into the game and quieten the crowd and do all the things you have to. And then to come out and the first anything of meaningful in the game, 62 seconds, boom, 1-0. Great little pass from Ahmad. Great little run from Mbeumo and a fantastic little finish on his right foot, on his weaker foot. And yeah, I think from a Liverpool point of view, you'd be desperately disappointed to concede like that, you know, right through the middle of the 2 centre-halves. It's it's almost a simple goal, really almost too early in the game and caught a little bit cold, really. But from United's point of view, absolute dreamland. What a start.
Yeah, I thought Virgil van Dijk didn't see Mbeumo. I think where he's pointing there, and we highlight it, I think he's saying to Konate, you're marking Cunha here, make sure you watch the run, and he comes on his blind side. Remember, Mbeumo was lying on the floor seconds earlier. I think he's caught him on the blind side. Just watch here. I think he's sort of, if anything, on the right-hand side of Van Dijk. So he's on the right-hand side of him there. So when he turns and looks, I think he's pointing to Cunha there, and he doesn't see him. And by his reaction, he's almost jogging, so he can't have seen him. I think it's lax, that is, from Virgil van Dijk. And I also think the goalkeeper can do better in this situation. But what a lovely pass this is from Ahmad. Outside the foot, just feathers it in there, invites him to hit him first time. McAllister's the other point there. Yeah. He does get a hit on the head. Should the referee stop it?
I don't think he sees it, does he?
Ah, whether he does or not, it's such a hard one, isn't it? I mean, Manchester United are attacking. If you stop it there, I think, you know, Ruben Amorim goes berserk, and if you don't stop it...
I think it's a right 50-50. From Liverpool's point of view, you're claiming all sorts there. You're saying, look, he's down wide, it should have been stopped, 100%. United's point of view, I think it's happened quite quickly. The play's gone forward. Is it so early in the game where, I don't know...
I mean, the rules say stop it, don't they? But
But can he stop it if he hasn't seen it?
Well, I think he probably has seen it. I'd be surprised if he hasn't
Well,
seen
if
it.
you look at where the referee's position is, he's ahead of the...
He's on the floor holding his head, but that sometimes doesn't mean anything anymore. As it was, that was a genuine head injury. But when Manchester United are attacking for the sake of 3 or 4 seconds, I think it's pretty dodgy if you're going to blow up every time someone goes down.
At the other end, Liverpool could easily have been level in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed the game. This could be any score at the moment. Great ball there. I mean, Liverpool have attacked pretty well. This is a lovely ball from Salah. Great first touch. He does absolutely everything. I mean, that's slick. That's a fantastic counter-attack. Very unlucky from Liverpool's point of view. And they had more and more chances throughout the half. I know Isak missed a good one that we'll go on to see. This hits the inside the post from Manchester United's point of view. There's 4 bodies around there and it lands to one person. And that's not in a red shirt, and this is the Isak chance. This is big, Michael. He really should be scoring this.
I think he's got to score. I think when you know better than me, but I think once he's broken that back line, it's the first time they opened United up when United were compact. The first 2 chances came from getting quite stretched, but it was a fantastic pass, to be fair, and a fantastic run. He has to score that.
What about United? They've asked a question or two as well, haven't they?
Yeah, like Michael said, it's been a fantastic game to watch. Liverpool probably had a little bit more in the game, but United going forward, big chance for Bruno. He'd be devastated that he's not scored. I mean, it's hit the post, and it was close, but he'd be desperately disappointed if not for that. That was a bit of a half chance, but that little run down the side again, similar to the goalkeeper dropping it. There's just a bit of an edginess about Liverpool that kind of we're not used to seeing of last season, really, but. United's definitely dangerous in the game. There's an awful lot to play for in this.
There's more goals left than this, isn't there? It's been frantic. As I say, it could have been any score. 1-0, but as I say, more goals left than this one.
Extremely watchable, but the earliest goal by an opposition team at Anfield since October.
Manchester United lead at half-time at Anfield and they got off to an absolutely flying start, Roy.
Dream start. We hope their attacking players would turn up today, and they certainly did. Obviously, people will look at the referee, maybe should stop it for a collision, obviously, concussion or whatever. But I think Van Dijk here, I don't know if he needs to get involved there. And then he goes back into it. So he's out of position. They're on the back foot. You're hoping then can pick the right pass, the right run. Fantastic run. Again, poor from Van Dijk, I think. And I think the keeper's got to do better. But from United's point of view, dream start. We thought their attacking players had a good opportunity to get space. Their rotation and movement's been excellent. And this is very hard to defend against. Player running, powerful, lovely goal, dream start. Yeah. But obviously there'll be controversy over this maybe head injury.
We'll talk about that in a second, but thoughts on the goal first,
Well, I think from Man United's point of view, brilliant. Diallo plays the perfect weighted pass the outside of his left foot and Mbeumo gets it on his unfavoured right foot. It's a good finish, but I think Virgil van Dijk makes a big mistake. He has to sprint back. Yes, there was a collision, but you still have to think to yourself, you can't pass it on to Konate. You have to sprint back as quick as you can, make sure that run doesn't go in behind you. So fundamentally, they've made a mistake. Should it have been stopped? I think if they had done, no one would have had any complaints, but Michael Oliver in his defence, does he see it, doesn't he? We can only debate that.
Well, Match Centre have said they can't confirm whether he saw it yet at this stage. We know he's pointed in that direction.
Yeah.
What we don't know is if he saw the connection between Van Dijk and
I would also say,
McAllister.
from Liverpool's point of view, they could have defended it much better, but credit to Manchester United, and they come out flying. They had a couple of chances after that as well, Roy.
Yeah, obviously you hope they don't regret these missed chances, particularly the one for Bruno. These are huge moments, big chances, and they do look sharp. And Liverpool look just a little bit off defensively. And Bruno, you want to fault anyone, it's Bruno. And you're thinking, hit the target, obviously you're so near, the power on it, the keeper wouldn't have any chance. And for Bruno, with his quality to miss the target, big moment. But they have looked at threat, and it's good to see. That's been a big problem for United. That's why they brought these players in. A bit more power. Again, the keeper looks a little bit nervous. Mount, a bit tough on him. He's trying to obviously adapt to the opportunity. And again, these little moments here. I'll give the keeper credit here.
Kirkes is nervous. He's like a nervous wreck out there. I feel for him. It's almost a bit too much for him. The game's happening too fast, and Diallo's causing him problems. You know, like you've mentioned, the Mbeumo, Cunha, they've gone for a different approach, though, with a bit more pace. But Liverpool have also had really good chances, Kelly. You know, Gakpo loves this fixture. Takes that really good first touch. I wonder if he'd take another one, but he doesn't. Decides to take it early. Lemens just is wishing this to go past the post. Unfortunately for Liverpool, it hits the post. And that's been one of the better moments. Again, this is Alexander Isak. It hasn't happened for the Swedish boys this weekend. But Gyökeres had a couple of chances yesterday. But they have been sharp. This one hits the post. and it could have gone absolutely anywhere. This is a great pass by Konate, perfect weight, lovely movement by Isak, a confident Alexander Isak, I think, scores that one, really good save. But they have still been really dangerous, Liverpool, and this game will be wide open second half. A lot of chances to come.